In this video, I'll show you how to draft a 4-panel skirt to your measurements. For this pattern, you'll need the following measurements: your waist circumference, your hip circumference, your hip height, and your skirt length. You measure your waist circumference at the narrowest part of your body, your hip circumference at the widest part, and the hip height is the distance in between, so the distance from your waist to your hips. The skirt length is simply the length of the skirt, however long you want it to be. Pause the video for a moment and take your own measurements. Now we can start drawing the pattern. I'm using a studio meter ruler, which allows me to draw to scale. I'm drawing at half scale. Start by drawing a vertical line. This is your skirt length. For me, that's 27 centimeters because I'm drawing a children's pattern. Next, draw some guidelines. Draw a line at the top of the line you just drew, and this one needs to be perpendicular to the first line. Next, draw a line at the bottom. Then measure the hip height. For me, that's 16 centimeters. And draw another guideline there. You've now drawn a total of 3 guidelines. Now we're going to mark the waist width. Because the skirt consists of 4 parts, a 4-panel skirt, we divide the waist width by 4. My waist width is 55 centimeters. Divided by 4 is 13.75. Since we've marked the skirt length in the middle, we're going to mark the waist width to the left and right. So then we divide 13.75 by 2, which is rounded to 6.8. So we mark 6.8 on the left side and 6.8 on the right side. And that way together the waist width is now marked at 13.75. The calculation for the hip width is a little different. Here we take the measured hip width, in my case 61 centimeters, divide it by 4 again, which becomes 15.24. But now I add 4 centimeters to that. If we don't do this, the skirt will fit very tightly around the hips, and with a 4-panel skirt, I don't want that. So 4 centimeters added to 15.24 is 19.24. We divide this by 2 again, which is 9.6, and I mark this off on both the left and right sides of the center line. Now, through the markings we've made at the waist width and the marking at the hip width, we're going to draw a line along the length of the skirt. In my case, that's 27 centimeters. You do this on both the right and left sides. Because our bodies have curves, we're going to add those curves to the waistline as well. This is called shaping. We draw 1 centimeter down from the middle of the line, and we do 1 centimeter at the bottom as well. Then we connect the points with a curved line. I always start by drawing little dots first because you have to do it freehand. There are rulers for this too, but I don't want to use them right now because it can be done this way too. And if you're satisfied, if you think the curves are even, then you draw a straight line through it. You do the same for the bottom of the skirt. The pattern is almost finished now. What I do next is trace the pattern lines with a black marker. It's not very important right now, but when you're drawing more complex patterns, sometimes the guidelines and pattern lines make it hard to see where you actually need to cut or trace. So that's why I always quickly do this for convenience. And I really recommend you do the same if you continue with pattern drafting or do it more often yourself. The arrow I'm drawing on the pattern now is the grain line, which is how you place the pattern on the fabric. I mark center front here in this case, or center back. And now I'm drawing around the seam allowances that I'm going to use. That's 3 centimeters for the hem, 2 centimeters for the side seam, especially when we're making a skirt with a zipper opening. And at the top you add 1 centimeter. I always add the seam allowance to the pattern myself. I do this because I like to transfer it onto the fabric with the seam allowance included. Then I sew my pattern pieces together using a seam guide on the sewing machine. You can find the instructions on how to assemble the skirt in the link below the video, or if you're on the website further down in the article. It would be great if you subscribe to the channel and be sure to let my editors know what other patterns you would like to learn to draw here. Have fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing your creations.